Many of us are familiar with the story that the Kruvim, the two angelic figures made of gold that were on top of the Aron HaKodesh, would not only look at each other, but actually at times even embrace. B'shah she'osin ritzono shel makom. The Jewish people were doing the will of God. When they weren't, the two would look away from each other. In the Second Temple period, there was no Aron HaKodesh in the Kodesh HaKodeshim. It was hidden away. But there was even a design on the back wall of the Kodesh HaKodeshim with these two self-same figures of two angels facing each other when the Jewish people were doing the will of God and looking away from each other when the Jewish people were not doing the will of God. Reish Lakish in the Gemara Masechet Yuma describes as follows. Amar Reish Lakish, B'shah shenichnasu nachem laheichal ra'u kruvim hameurin zeh b'zeh. When the enemies, when the foreigners came into the sanctuary, they actually found the two cherubs, the kruvim, embracing one with the other. This is very strange. Wasn't the exact moment of the destruction a description or a moment that should have been typified by the angels looking away from each other? This question animated many among the Rishonim and the Achronim, trying to understand how it could be that the exact moment the enemies are in the inner sanctum of the Jewish people that they could still find the Kruvim embracing each other. Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen of Lublin has a novel interpretation. He says it's correct that till every moment leading up to the actual moment of the invasion of the marauders into the Kodesh HaKodeshim, it is true, the angels were looking away from each other. However, at the exact moment that the enemies came in, here they were back in a warm embrace. Why? Because at the exact moment that the Jewish people had finally had to confront the reality of the impending destruction, all their cognitive dissonance about the fact that perhaps it will never happen, or it couldn't happen, or God wouldn't let it happen, fell away. And it was at that moment that they could come to tshuva. He writes in the Pri Tzaddik that they had not done tshuva until that moment, aval techach, but at that exact instant, nasu yisol bichlal osin rishon shel makom, the Jewish people became again those who were doing the will of God, because they were already mahar her b'tshuva. They were thinking about how they were going to make things better. The recognition, the acceptance, and then the projection, hopefully, for making things better in the future was what enabled the angels, as it were, these angelic creatures, I should say, the Kruvim, to embrace again. Mizeh, from this, writes the Kohen from Lublin, Nola Techaf Mashiach. From here comes the tradition brought to us from the Yerushalmi, Megillat Eicha Rabbah, the idea that the Mashiach is born on Tisha B'Av. From the depths of destruction comes the kernel of tshuva and a hope for a better tomorrow. May we this year be zochim, we should merit, that we should use this time period not just for commemoration and for sadness, but also as a springboard to be thinking about how we can make things better in our interpersonal relationships, in our relationship with Hashem, and how we can hopefully be part not just of the continued problem of not having a Beit HaMikdash and living in an unredeemed world, but hopefully using this period as a springboard to usher in Mashiach Tzidkenu. May he come and be revealed soon, speedily, and in our day.